How's it going, everyone? With me right here I have the DJI Spark, as you can see, and even though this guy is a little bit older, I want to review this thing and see if it's still worth it years later. So anyways, let's get into the review. Alright, so this little Spark here, as you can see, is tiny. Here's my hand compared to it, just for a point of reference. So it is a tiny drone. It originally came out in April of 2017, and at the time there was nothing like it. For being this small and portable, it had a great camera and it performed pretty good. Almost as good as the high-end drones, but for a much cheaper price. The great thing about the Spark 2 is that you can fly it with just your cell phone, or even with like hand gestures, and then you could also like add in the remote if you want to as well. Alright, so if you're flying this Spark here with the controller, you're going to get a range of about 1.2 miles. If you're flying with your phone, you're only going to get a range of about 100 meters. In the front of the drone right here, this is its obstacle avoidance. The weight of the drone is about 300 grams, and in sport mode, it goes about 31 miles an hour. Now the camera is only 1080p, which on its surface might not seem that great, but it's got a great 1080p image. It's very clear and it's very smooth, so the camera is actually very good. I've done videos with drones at 1080p, and this is by far better than those other drones that I've done. The drone also has a 2-axis gimbal, but for the 3rd axis it uses electronic image stabilization. The downside to the Spark, though, is the flight time. You're only going to get around 16 to 10 minutes. Best case scenario 16, worst case scenario 10 minutes. So the flight time isn't too long. Another great thing is, for the small package that you get here with the Spark, it has so many features in different flight modes, like active track, tap to fly, point of interest, follow me, waypoints, and many more. I could go on, but I don't want to make this video too long. So I'll link a couple other videos in the description that are extremely in-depth and break this guy down. But there is a bunch of features with this drone. Now, one of my personal favorite things about this DJI Spark is its versatility. You can fly this thing with the controller, just your phone, or even with hand gestures, which makes this thing great to, let's say, go hiking or whatever. Because all you would need to do if you're hiking, if you want to film something really quickly, all you need to do is turn on the drone, connect to your phone, and you're up in the air just like that. Now, however, if you want to take a drone, let's say, on vacation, then I would recommend something like the DJI Mavic Mini, because the camera is better and has a longer flight time, so you don't need to pack as many batteries. So I would recommend something like the DJI Mavic Mini for travel, but this thing is a great drone to take with you to go hiking. Alright guys, so the next clip is going to be me flying this drone, and I'm going to show you some of its flight features, the flight modes that you can put it in. So let's cut to that right now. With me right here I have my DJI Spark. As you can see, it's right in my bag, but I don't have the controller with me, so we're going to be flying this with my iPad right here. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so right here we have the DJI Spark, and we're going to give this guy a quick flight. So we're going to turn it on, quick press, and then hold. The fans have turned on, and we're just going to give it a second. You can hear that. And now we're going to connect to the iPad right here. So as you can see, our Spark is right out there on the landing pad, but just make sure you always update the home point before you take off. That way, if something goes wrong and you need to return to home, it will return to the actual home point. So update the home point. Alright guys, so a personal recommendation of mine, before you go out and fly, I would always recommend calibrating this guy at home, doing the compass calibration, IMU calibration, anything you need to calibrate, I would calibrate it at home, and then when you go out to fly and you turn it on, all you would need to do is update the home point. So that's my advice for that. I'm really trying to make a short video here. I don't want to spend 20 minutes making a video on the DJI Spark. There's plenty of those on YouTube. So like I said, I'll link in a very in-depth review in the description below, so make sure to go check that out. But I'm going to break this up into several videos. Those were the quick shots, and I recorded them. So now we are going to do in a second video the actual flight test. So make sure to stay tuned to that, and I will be flying it with the remote controller. So please subscribe, that way you are notified when I upload that video. In conclusion, it just seems like everyone forgot about the DJI Spark. It is still a great drone and it is still relevant, even though that it has been replaced by other drones like the Mavic Mini. It has some features that the Mavic doesn't have, for example, obstacle avoidance in the front. Although it doesn't have it in the back, which is unfortunate, but if it's following you, it will avoid objects. So that's pretty nice. You can pick this DJI Spark up brand new for about $400. But you could also get this like refurbished for close to $200, just the drone, and then you'll fly it off your phone, which is a steal in my opinion. I would highly recommend you pick this guy up. As you guys can probably tell, I really do like this DJI Spark. As you can see in my bag right here, I have multiple batteries for it. I have the one in the drone, this one, and this one. So I have 4 batteries for the DJI Spark, which means I really do like this drone. It is a very good buy if you can pick this guy up for around, let's say, $200, just the drone itself, or $400. Maybe you can get the drone, the controller, and then maybe a battery or two. That would be a great deal. I would highly recommend that you would take advantage of that opportunity if it is presented to you. But that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.